Okay, so light. Huh. You sent over a whole bunch of articles about light and health.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I gotta say, it's a lot more interesting than I initially thought.
Yeah, it's a pretty fascinating field, I gotta agree.
Especially this one study. It's out of the UK. Massive, like almost 90,000 people. And they tracked them for years.
Wow.
And they were looking at how exposure to light, like all kinds of light, impacts our health
Mm-hmm.
and the results. Kind of mind-blowing, to be honest.
Definitely eye-opening.
So for this deep dive, what we want to do is really unpack, like, what does this research actually mean for you listening right now?
Yeah, because what good is knowledge if you can't do anything with it, right?
Exactly. So let's jump right into it. One of the most striking things they found is that people exposed to the brightest light at night,
Oh, okay.
think like lots of artificial light while they're trying to sleep,
Mm-hmm.
they had a significantly higher risk of dying early.
That's right, yeah. And it's not just about, being tired because your sleep is disrupted. This goes deeper. It's about impacting your internal clock, what we call circadian rhythms.
I've heard of those.
Decades of research, tons of it, show just how deeply these rhythms are affected by, well, how much light we get.
So it's like our bodies are expecting a sunrise and a sunset, like
Right.
nature intended.
Right.
But instead, we're giving them this constant, like, 2047 flickering screen kind of light.
Yeah, it's like a good analogy.
No wonder things get messed up, right?
Absolutely. And when those circadian rhythms get disrupted, it's not just sleep cycles that are affected.
Oh, no.
No, it's way more. Increased risk of heart disease, diabetes, even mental health struggles.
Seriously.
It's all connected. The ripple effects are huge.
Okay, wow, that's a lot. Yeah. You mentioned diabetes, and I want to make this concrete for folks.
Okay.
How does a messed up circadian rhythm actually lead to something like diabetes?
Well, think of it this way. The hormones that regulate your blood sugar,
Mm-hmm.
they're tied to your internal clock very closely.
Okay.
So when that clock is constantly disrupted, like by unnatural light, it throws those hormone levels all out of whack.
I see.
And that imbalance, that increases the risk of developing diabetes.
Makes sense. So in this study, how did they actually track all that light exposure for so many people?
Right. Good question.
Did they just ask people to, like, remember how much light they were getting each day?
Well, no, nothing like that. They used wrist-worn devices
Oh, fancy.
to measure it, yeah, throughout the whole day and night. So we're talking hard data, 2 under 4/7, not just people's memories.
That's impressive. Speaking of impactful things,
Yeah.
there's one detail that really stood out to me. The time of night when light seems to have the biggest negative effect,
Oh, interesting. When's that?
between 2.30 and 3.00 M.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Who knew? That's fascinating because that specific time, it aligns with when our bodies are most sensitive to light.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like our systems are primed, just waiting to respond to even the tiniest bit of light.
Okay, now I'm kind of freaked out. Should we all just go live in caves?
Haha, not quite. There's good news, too. They also found that people who got the most light exposure during the day
Okay.
actually had a lower risk of death.
So sunshine is our friend.
Exactly. It's not just about the circadian rhythms either.
Oh.
Bright days can improve your mood, boost vitamin D, even enhance how well you think.
Okay, so there's hope. We don't got to live in darkness.
Nope.
But let's get practical. What's all this mean for our listeners, like, in their everyday lives? How can they actually use this knowledge to get healthier?
That is the million-dollar question, and luckily this study offers some pretty clear guidance.
So spill the beans. What are the top recommendations here, the, like, actionable stuff?
Well, the biggest one, make getting outside during the day a priority.
Like every day.
As much as you can, yeah. And this might surprise you, but even a cloudy day is way brighter than being inside.
That's true. We think of being inside as well lit,
Mhm.
but I guess compared to, like, the sun.
It's practically a cave, yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So even if it's not sunny, a walk in the park, lunch break outside.
Exactly. Even just sitting by a window, it all helps.
Man, now my morning coffee runs sound even better.
Another big thing is contrast, like between day and night.
Oh, okay.
As the day winds down, start dimming the lights in your house.
Embrace the cozy vibes.
Exactly. It signals to your body, like, hey, time to chill, get ready for sleep.
Makes sense.
And the bedroom.
Should be a sleep sanctuary.
Right.
Total darkness.
Yeah.
Blackout curtains, eye masks, the works.
Got it. So darker the better when it comes to sleep. But why is that so important?
Well, darkness does something cool. It triggers your body to make melatonin.
I've heard of that.
It's a hormone,
Mhm.
helps regulate your sleep-wake cycle.
Okay.
Enough melatonin. You fall asleep easier, stay asleep longer, and the sleep is deeper, more restorative.
I feel like I'm learning so much, and I'm guessing late night phone scrolling, laptop work.
Big no-no. Yeah.
Forget that blue light, right.
Exactly. That blue light from our devices, it's like the ultimate circadian rhythm disruptor.
It makes your brain think it's still daytime, so falling asleep gets way harder.
So it's not just avoiding light at night, it's like building a good rhythm all day long.
You got it. It's about flow, not just following a bunch of rules.
That's a good way to put it. So bright light during the day, dim things down as it gets dark, then total darkness for sleep.
Exactly. Your body will thank you, for sure.
Okay, so big picture.
Yeah.
We've learned a lot about light today, right?
Uh-huh.
Affects our sleep, our health, even how long we live. It's wild.
And it's not just about living longer, it's about living better. You know,
Right, totally.
having energy, being focused, feeling like you're in sync with like your natural rhythms.
Yeah, that's the good stuff.
That's where the magic happens, I think.
So the big question for me is, how do we take all this cool science-y stuff and actually make it work in our lives?
Right.
Like, what are small things people can do, starting today even, to have a healthier relationship with light?
That's a great question. And honestly, there's no one right answer. It's got to be what works for you.
You know, what comes to mind for me is I used to be such a night owl.
Oh, yeah.
Up late, laptop glowing, phone in hand, the whole deal. But after reading all this research, I started taking morning walks.
Good for you.
And wow, it's made a difference. More energy during the day, easier to wind down at night.
That's amazing. It's crazy how small changes can really impact your whole well-being.
So for some people, it might be those walks. For others, maybe it's finally getting blackout curtains
Right?
or just putting the phone away an hour before bed, you know?
Yeah, whatever that first step is.
That's got to start somewhere.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And every step towards getting in sync with that natural light and dark, that's a step towards better health.
Well said. And you know what? We'd love to hear from you.
Absolutely.
What are your takeaways from this deep dive? What, like, aha moments did you have?
Yeah, share your thoughts, ask questions. Let's keep this conversation going.
Because we're all in this together, right? The more we share, the more we all learn.
Couldn't agree more.
So until next time, keep those circadian rhythms happy and embrace the power of light.